Am I live? Alright. Alright. We should be live and ready and raring to go. So the plan for today is to actually properly go through the explanation of how to beat Joker as Greninja in Smash Bros. Plain and simple. Instead of rambling at 2 a.m., I should be as marginally more mentally stable. Let me just get these uploaded into my various chats I'm in. Content. Live. Should show when I'm live. Hey. No, I forgot to say the fact that I literally ripped this thumbnail from Apo. There is self-promo. And now, come down here to self-promo. Now, let me open this up on my end so I can make sure I can, like, read everything. What? Am I not live anywhere or something? Hey. Okay, I am live. Okay. Mike is picking up everything. Okay, let's get things properly started. The biggest issues that generally show up in this matchup is neutral. This is what Tobe has talked to me about. This is what he believes. And so, because of that, we're going to be watching quite a few videos explaining this. To start things off, let's go over stage list. What I believe are good stages in the matchup and why. First of all, our Greninja's generally best 3 stages is... Sorry, I'm eating sour candy right now. Our generally best 3 stages, in my opinion, Town is not a good stage in this matchup because Joker, in my opinion, gets more benefit from Town than we do. Because if you look at a lot of his confirms, they aren't killing you off the top. They are killing you off the side. Drag down into down smash. Down forward smash callouts. Back air being the prime example. That kills you off the side, not off the top. Can he still kill you off the top? Absolutely. Just look at Arsene upper. That thing's a beast. But he's generally not going for that. So, this 3 stages I generally counterpick to is is generally FD. FD is my almost always go-to. Kalos, because I believe we get more benefit from Kalos, and I'll go through that as we watch various sets and why. And then usually Hollow, but Hollow is 50-50. I've seen Small Battlefield get tossed out a lot, same with PS2. I personally don't care for those stages, same with Battlefield, but generally go for Kalos and FD. So, let's, someone brought up yesterday that I did not look at Anarchy versus Omega at Cavalier Clash, or Anarchy versus Omega at Keep It Real Winter Freeze. So I'll be looking at both of those. Let's start off with the more recent one at Cavalier Clash. Who hath this messaged me? Very interesting. Okay. Oh, nice face Anarchy. Okay. Okay, starting things off, there are, let's look at stage pick and why that is common. Okay. Stage pick is PS2. PS2 is generally a very neutral stage. I think this can go either or for, either characters. It doesn't really affect anybody besides, I believe, smaller top blast zones, which is good for us. But I believe Up Smash is very inconsistent when it comes to top platforms, when it comes to down to Up Smash. Which I believe does happen during this set, or at least during this game. Now, something immediately that is going to be tossed out is threat range. Threat range is very, very important. I'm of the firm belief, and after reading a little bit of Apolition's matchup breakdown for Joker that he has on his Notion, he agrees with me. The best place you can be for Joker is the mid-range. You don't want to be in close range. You generally don't be in far range. But I believe the mid to long range is the best. Mid-range, if we come over here to, say, MS Paint. Oh, nice. If we come over here to MS Paint, and this is our stage. This is Joker, and this is Greninja. The threat range is going to be very interesting. This is, say hypothetically, that is close range. This is the mid-range. And then this right here is the far range, which will be which will be represented like this. I generally find it best to be right around here. Joker is very far away, but it's still far enough where you can safely poke, while not having to deal with a lot of his aerials and and forcing him to overcommit. Because in this matchup, Greninja does not need to be the aggressor. If he is aggressive, he loses, because that's when he starts running into things like back air, down tilt, forward tilt, jab in some cases, rising down air, rising forward air, nair. Right here, I find is generally the best. This is what I am going to call the golden range, in this mid to far range. But even then, let's go with this lime right here is, I cannot see that. I am colorblind. Even then, this section right here is most likely going to be the best. Right on the cusp of far range and mid-range. Because, again, Greninja does not need to be the aggressor. We don't have to be aggressive. We can poke. We can do anything else. Now, a few other things to note is Shuriken beats out almost all of his hitboxes and beats out Gun. I believe we can see this right in the beginning. So, keep getting pinged. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Now, from here... where was I? Yeah. Okay, so we were talking about neutral. Okay, so Shuriken beats out almost all of his hitboxes, and is a very good pressure tool. Now, this is what I like to call a forward air matchup. Forward air matchup, you can generally describe most matchups for Greninja as one of two categories: back air or forward air. For example, Incineroar is most likely going to be a back air matchup. It's safe, it's spammable, it punishes things a lot. But now, in these more higher difficulty matchups, it's generally better to go with forward air. Forward air is a safe spacing tool, walling tool, along with a combo tool. I believe we can see this immediately if we come right here. What in the world is going on? Why? Okay. Look at this. Look at this. Immediately, we can see my point proven. Anarchy is staying in the mid to far range, ignore this, and is starting to space with forward air. Forcing... Man. Sorry, I'm hearing myself, like, relapse because I'm looking at chat on my phone. And Omega has to be the aggressor. Look at this. One opening, and he took 36. Yeah, granted, that's not great, but it's better than nothing. So, again, spaced with forward air, right in that mid-range. So now, as things go... as things continue on, look at that. Again, spaced. Now, as things get more nuanced, Omega has Arsene right now. Arsene is naturally Joker's stepdad. Let's just be honest. He has... Okay. Joker's stepdad. And it base boosts literally everything. Come over here. I'm just going to duplicate this so we can also look at Greninja's. Joker. Arsene. If we come down here, let's look at back air. Back air is the biggest example here. If we compare that, that's huge. But now, let's break this down. I do believe forward air beats this. It's very tight to space, but he does beat this. This is a forward air matchup. We have to play patiently. We don't have to be the aggressor. We don't have to push. Now, something else that is also of note is, Anarchy is not really the best example of this. He's a frog that wants to be a bird. He likes to jump constantly. But if we go over to, say, Iceknight, who we'll be looking at after this game, we can see that he plays very grounded, meaning we don't have to deal with basically any of his aerials, because Joker, in my opinion, has fake disjoints. Yeah, he does have disjoints. Look at if we come over here to back air, look at that. Look at that. That's certainly disjointed, but that's not a big disjoint. It's not big at all. Same thing if we go over here to that's up smash. Let's go over to forward tilt. Right here. That's a disjoint, but that's not a very big disjoint. Compare that. It's not big. What else? Jab 2, forward tilt, right here. Forward tilt, that's not a big disjoint. These are fake disjoints. Now if we come back over here, let's just see how Anarchy plays this. Look at that. Let's break this little interaction down. Go forward. Up tilt. Our up tilt, yeah, granted it was spaced a bit, but our up tilt beat Arsene down air. This thing is still this thing right there at that point, I believe, is a hitbox. Scroll down. That is neutral, forward air, back air, up air, down air. Yep, right there. Right there. That's a hitbox. He and our up tilt beat that out. Again, it was spaced, but we still beat that. And look at this. I've never seen Anarchy play so... Wow, he died. In this little section right here, I've never seen Anarchy play so grounded. Now. Okay. This is another common thing that happens. That, in a Discord I'm in, Jokers really like to call out, like to think they're MK Leo, and call out with Renbels Gaurd. Plain and simple. Because anything that isn't true is just free Arsene. And we can easily call that out. Now, see, again, spacing with forward air. If he spaced that a little bit better and was a little to the ground, that would have been unpunishable. Gets another forward air. Notice how Omega has to commit to an option to try to hit Anarchy. Look at that. Spacing with forward air. Mixing up if he's going to be approaching on the ground or in the air. Look at that. To try to get a dash attack, which does nothing. He had to commit. This is the beauty of this is one of the various liberties we have in this matchup, is the fact that we don't have to approach. Fortunately, I don't think I have any recordings of me versus one of my coaches who is a top Joker in Illinois. Yo, what's up, Vortic? You haven't really missed all too much. So now we're going through Anarchy versus Omega right now, explaining various different aspects. The only thing we've really gone over is call-out options, spacing, certain matchup experiences, stuff like that. Look at that. So, Anarchy, my beloved. Yeah, again, look at that. Anarchy had to commit to that dash attack to try to catch Greninja. Omega is playing super risky, all to try to hit Greninja. And Anarchy is alive at 130 something %. Now, look at this. Here we are. Boom! Anarchy is playing this amazingly, for making Omega feel like he has to be the aggressor. Something else that I will note, that I didn't bring up earlier, is a lot of Joker's pressure
revolves around making you feel like you have to be put into shield. Gun, neutral air, down air, back air, forward air. A lot of it makes you feel like you have to be put into neutral. Let's look back at, let's start at 515. Look how often Anarchy goes into shield. 1. So far, 1 time. 2. And 3. 3 times. That's not... And 3 times. If you look at somebody else, they're going to be in shield a lot more often. You don't need to be afraid of Joker. You just need to understand that that is what he wants, to put you in shield, to keep you immobile, so then he can pressure you with grab. Grab is probably his best move in this matchup, because he can get so much. Now, keeping pressure off stage. Boom. And even then, that shield pressure is fake. Look at this. That down tilt is like never going to happen. If we look at base Joker back air, right here, -5 on shield. He got a -5 on a shield that on a move that is -5 on shield. He got a down tilt. Our down tilt is like frame 12. That's fake shield pressure. And if he wanted to, Anarchy probably could have parried it and got a F smash and killed him at 90. Now, Anarchy here needs to play this a bit more patiently. Look at that. Omega is mashing to try to get a single hit on Anarchy here. All because he understands the basic flowchart of this matchup. Stay grounded, space with forward air, and bait out Joker's options. Which, you know what? You know what that really reminds me of? Almost the rest of our matchups. Committing. Here we are. Anarchy, Omega is at kill percent, while Anarchy is alive at almost 200. Now, as we... Okay. So look at this. See if Anarchy can live to 200. He does! 206. Okay. Now... Omega had to basically read his get up option to try to do that. Wow, what the hell happened? Fun. Okay. Now, let's go through this. I think that one game alone is an excellent breakdown of how you play this matchup. Can we... Okay. So let's go through stage bans and why I think he banned them. In this matchup, I believe Anarchy banned Smashville, Battlefield, and probably Small. Small or Town. Because Battlefield and Smashville are very inconsistent up smash platforms.
while at the same time, I believe he banned either Town or Small for the same reasons as Smashville and Battlefield, compared to, and if you look at, or he banned Town. Town is, as I said earlier, Town is very, in my opinion, is very good for Joker in this matchup, because Anarchy recognizes the fact that Joker was killing Greninja off the side in basically all of these situations. And if he got hit at 200%, say on this previous, back here, and if they were on Town, yeah, it was like right here, yeah, right there, I believe he recognizes that if he got hit in this situation, he would have died. That is my thought. I believe he banned Smashville, Battlefield, and Town. Now, Omega decides to go back to PS2. PS2 probably because he realized it was last stock, and this is probably the best stage of the options that he has left. Now, look at this. If Anarchy was placed a little bit farther back, he would have been able to react to this dash attack and punish him. But even then, Omega had to commit to that dash attack to get 23%. That's nothing. Off of one opening, 55, all because he got a down tilt, and Anarchy and Omega, all because he did a nair. Dash grab, boom. These are fake disjoints. Don't be afraid to contest them, but still make sure you are spaced properly. Cannot beat that enough. If you are going to play this matchup, you have to understand how to space your moves. Okay, now, as we go into game 2, let's talk about Arsene. We didn't talk a lot about last game, but now this game I believe is going to be a lot more important. Let me see. Dash attack. Forward tilt. Again. Okay. Arsene is Joker's X Factor. Plain and simple. This is what makes Joker good. Without Arsene, Joker would be a mid-tier. In my humble opinion, he would be a mid-tier. Yes, he would have very strong, consistent options, very good movement. But Arsene gives him that oomph that is needed to beat, to really kill things out. Because with Arsene, I believe last game, Anarchy died at, what, 58? Yeah. He died at 58 because of a slight rage Joker Arsene down air up smash. I believe like right here. That is nothing. Oh, okay. I went way too far. Wow, that second game is really short. Okay, now, how to deal with Arsene. The best way to deal with Arsene, in my opinion, is just don't. Joker, if you look at any Joker, especially at mid-level, they get a lot more aggressive. Because they want to learn, because they want to maximize what they can get off of Arsene.
They want to scrape every. They are scraping the barrel to try to get any monochrome of advantage off of Arsene. But you know what we've established? Play grounded, spaced with fair, use shuriken. Boom, boom, boom. Use grab and pivot grab to beat out their options. Their hitboxes may be bigger, but their hurt box isn't smaller. So, and if we look at how Anarchy deals with Arsene, we can most likely see this. Yep, look at that. Disengaged, playing patient, playing a bit more playing grounded. One nair into fair, 8, basically half of like a third of Arsene. And look at that. Hitbox is bigger. It doesn't matter though. Literally just did a dash back and Arsene is gone. Okay, one thing that really stuck out to me was at the beginning of game 2, you said that he was just a bit further back. He could have baited the dash attack so he may stay safe distance to punish his options. Yes. Earlier, I think you missed it. I talked about ranges in this matchup. This is close range, this is medium range, this is long range. This is Joker, this is Greninja. I believe right here in this little circle, is the best place to stay for Joker. He has to commit to an option to try to hit us. And right here is going to be the best because he doesn't feel comfortable using things like back air, down tilt, gun, doing an approaching nair, because we can still react to that and have enough space to punish it. Does that make sense? Man, when I go up to Chicago, I really gotta bring you some Nerds gummies. These things are fire. Now white screen is hurting my eyes because I'm in a dark room. Okay. Now, as we continue, look at that. Anarchy, I just noticed this. Anarchy is at 33. Off of 2 openings, Omega is at 125. He got no value off of Arsene. He has to commit to an option to try to get a single hit on Anarchy. All because he is staying grounded, spacing his options, understanding Joker's fake disjoints. Now, granted, a very common mistake a lot of Greninja players make, especially at these high percents, even Anarchy is suffering from this, is we want the kill. We want it badly, because we recognize that after a certain point, options just stop working. But we can see this. Anarchy is playing a lot more aggressive. He lost his stock because he went in to approach. If he just waited a bit more patiently, if he was fine, if he recognized the options that were needed, things would have calmed down. He would have been able to find a kill. But stuff happens. Now, this is definitely the hardest part of the matchup, in my opinion. Getting off of ledge. Because what do you do in this situation? You have quite a few options. The one very common strategy that I have used is waiting for this exact option, this
this fast fell Nair, and done a get up attack. We are intangible. It pushes them away. It's fine. Now, something else that I have also seen is a drop down double jump forward air, or seen the hydro route of doing a drop down instant IDJ side B. A lot more risky, but if it hits, it does kill. Something else that I've seen people refer to as the lily pad, which is Greninja doing a jump, hydro pumping left and then right to push him away. Plain and simple. Now, as we can go through, but neutral get up is also a safe option. You just have to play patiently and recognize common habits. Now, that's a very good option. Anarchy really likes doing that, and it's very, very fun. Now, again, spacing with forward air, spacing his tools, making Omega have to approach, even at kill percent. Look at this. Now. Oh, that's good. Excuse me. He's going to get Arsene. Let's see if we can see Omega play any differently. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, we do. Yeah, I do that a lot, Anarchy. Don't worry. Look at this. Playing more aggressive, using more back air, using more Nair because of the bigger hitbox. Cool. Spacing that forward air, punishing his options. Okay, now this will be let's see how last stock goes. Look at Anarchy. He's waiting at that mid-range. Waiting for Omega to make the first move. Punishing his options. Now, something that is very much so of note that I will say is always try to bait out Renbels Gaurd. Because a lot of Joker players use this as a combo breaker. Because if we come back over here and look at our handy dandy ultimate frame data, Renbels Gaurd is... Holy crap, so many gun variants. Renbels Gaurd is a frame 8 combo breaker. That's not bad. Oh, sorry. Not counterattack. Sorry. Renbels Gaurd right here is a frame 3 combo breaker. That's really good. It gives him a very fast option that gives him Arsene, which is awesome. So always be expecting it and playing around it. A lot of Jokers counter in similar situations. This one is a very good example of it. This is last stock. He's at low percent. He has no reason not to go for it. He just got off I believe a tech chase. Yep. Basically got off a tech chase and now got Arsene off of a single Nair. But at the same time, look at this. It's basically all gone. Look at Anarchy. He's He's playing decently grounded. He's spacing his options. He's mixing up how he lands. Omega has to be the aggressor. Okay, something else that I will note that thank you Dact for confirming for me. Up B, if you notice, oftentimes Joker lingers just for a second and then he goes back up. Something else of note is the fact that he doesn't have rising intangibility. He can't get two framed, but he's not intangible while rising up. So always try to contest it. It's the same thing with Arsene. It's the exact same thing. In this case, then, if they're stalling by weighing there, just do a falling back air. Don't need to do a rising. Let's do a falling back air. And more often than not, Joker player panics and rises into it. Really back air. Sorry, back throw. Boom! Spaced an option. And he got the punish. Beating out, was that Nair? Down air. Awesome. Let's go. I believe Anarchy loses these. That's a reverse 3. That's very upsetting. But Anarchy, I am going to be completely honest. If you ever see this, you played this those first 2 games, you played it so well. You played it almost perfectly, in my opinion. Now, let's go over to... and let's look at this one. Keep it real. Okay. Very similar, playing mid-range. Spacing. Playing a decent bit grounded. This will be the only game that we watch for this set. Now, notice how he is not staying in shield, he's just flickering shield. Boom. Okay. Advantage is... let's go over advantage real quick. Scroll back to this very first hit. Let's see how Anarchy plays this. He gets a early advantage. 6%. Down throw, dash attack, up air. He is waiting for Omega to basically fall. He is... excuse me. I'm lightheaded all of a sudden. He's punishing Omega's options. Okay, now let's... okay. And he's able to get a... opening off of that. Let's look at this. 2 openings. And he's able to get Joker from 0 to 67. It's not bad. It's not great either. Okay, now let's go over Eigon, I believe it's called. Joker side B. This move is fake. Plain and simple. It can be hard or annoying to deal with, but Nair, back air, forward air, shuriken. We can counter it on reaction in most cases. We don't... This move is not a threat. Unless if a Joker calls you out on it for retreating. But even then, he takes... What? 12%? 7%? For retreating. Now what we can do instead, we can jump. If this was a approaching, if he was approaching after he did an Eigon, what Anarchy could have done is literally ran under it, countered it, did a medium charge shuriken, which either clanks or beats it, so then it goes through, giving you some chip damage while Joker is in end lag. What else? What else is there? He could have done. I believe I already said he could have countered. Make sure to respect Joker's options, but don't be afraid. This isn't Steve. This is an actually balanced character. Now, be able to punish back air. Cool. I'm gonna watch another 30 seconds of this, see if there's anything else of note. So advantage is just spacing your options, trying to bait out down B so you can get grabs. What else? Disadvantage is going to be the absolute hardest part of... Where in the world is my mouse? Joker is balanced until you play until the play is unbalanced. Until the player is unbalanced. True. Yeah, let's look at let's look at Iceknight versus Raven King. Very plain and simple. We looked at this last night, but we'll actually go through this more. Let's go through just game. Let's go through game 3. Yeah, let's go through game 3. Okay, these two have played each other for years, so these two naturally are going to know the Greninja matchup. As things go, and let's just see how Iceknight plays this. Grounded. Spacing with forward air. Playing mid-range. Now, Raven King is also playing very similarly. Look at that. We're able to punish Iceknight was able to punish a landing Nair. And I believe... I believe he gets the kill off of this in the next little bit. What else? Yeah, this is just reinforcing what we have already established. Playing grounded, spacing with forward air. Notice how he's not using gun because we can punish gun. What else is there? Playing mid-range. Again. Okay. I believe something else is the fact that if we do... now, disadvantage is going to absolutely be the hardest part of this matchup.
But a lot of it is just learning how to get out of the corner and knowing how to land. That is it. Once you learn the basic flowchart of how Joker players play at ledge, then things are going to be very simple. A lot of the Nair is very powerful. Down air 2 frames, down tilt 2 frames. I believe so does forward tilt. Okay, it's fine. You know, he can stay out there for like 5 seconds if we so please. We can wait to recover as long as we want. Look at that. He pokes up. Look at that. Okay. This just shows that don't be afraid to edgeguard base Joker. Oh, wait, what in the... Who is typing? Oh, no. He tries to go in and he gets punished for it and dies. I'm pretty sure that move, backer right there kills at like 70. And even then, let's see, did he use his double jump? He did not. But again, earlier in this set, I believe we watched multiple times that Raven King had to use basically all of his resources to try to get back to stage once. And because he has to use all of his resources, then it makes things significantly easier, forcing him to go low, making it very risky. Now, so now, look at this. Look at this again. Playing grounded, playing mid-range, making Raven King be the aggressor because we don't have to do anything. It'd be very funny if Raven King died right there. Cool. Now, again, going back to this basic flowchart of playing mid-range, playing grounded. Now, we can definitely see how Iceknight is very familiar with this matchup. Punishing Raven King's options, making sure he doesn't feel comfortable to use down B, making things very punishing his options, making sure he can't do anything. Very unfortunate. And that's a kill. Plain and simple. It's a flowchart. You change the flowchart as needed. You break things down. So far, to the people I've watched, do you have any questions? I'm going to sit here for a few minutes, let questions come in, and then I will answer them as necessary. Go over to please wait for this. To anybody that just joined, I'm going through a questions section before we move on to watching more VODs to establish what we already have. What? Transition to what? Transition. So what? I don't know, man. OBS is being weird. Okay. To review what we've established. Neutral is neutral, we don't have to worry about a lot of options. Gun is annoying, but we don't have to worry about gun because... Let me turn down my audio so I don't hear myself talk. Okay. Gun is annoying, but we don't have to deal with gun because of shuriken, forward air, nair, those options. Eigon is a fake tool that is easily beat out, along with Eigon is a fake option that we don't have to worry about because we can easily beat it out, move around it, and punish it. After that, we don't have to after that, if we just play a bit... After that, if we just play patient and play grounded and space with forward air, Joker can't do almost anything about it. What else? Joker has to be the aggressor in this matchup in most situations. Okay. Joker has to be the aggressor in most situations because we can ignore most of his neutral pressure. And a lot of his neutral pressure goes to the fact that he wants to put us in shield so he can get things like grab or down tilt or back air. He's very good at killing off the side, so we generally don't want to go to stages like Smashville, Town, or Battlefield because up smash is very inconsistent on those stages, and he excels more at killing off the side using things like Arsene Bear. Advantage, always be prepared for Renbels Gaurd to as a frame 3 combo breaker, but at the same time we can still punish it. Cool. I don't really have anything else. Disadvantage, try not... disadvantage-wise, try... generally going to ledge is a risky but always decent option. What else? I don't think I have anything else. Actually. Just make sure to play patient. A lot of his neutral is fake. So, alright. If I have anything else, I will add extra parts. Add anything else to it. So, have a good day, good evening, or good night, everybody. And we will now catch you next stream or next video.